Well, here we are out here in Last Chance Gulch, and I got some friends of mine out here with me. Now, this Last Chance Canyon, this is where the guys come when they were kind of down on their luck, and they'd come out and they'd find some nuggets, because there's really no fine gold out here in Last Chance Gulch. It's all fairly large gold, and they could spin them nuggets. And I got some guys out here with me, and we're going to do some metal detecting and browsing around in the old canyon, and they're going to take their metal detectors and look for nuggets and see what we can do. I got Mr. Gene Brooks here with me. He's been mining for about 50 years or so. And on this side over here, you've seen him before. That's Bob Clem, and I got Perry here and Jake. And Gene, just how long have you been mining?
Since about 1930.
About 1930. That was a few years before I was born, and I've been at it about 30 years, so that's quite a while. Gene's got a metal detector, and Bob's got one, and Perry has got the gold pan, and then Jake's got a metal detector. And these guys are going to fan out, and they're going to see if they can find some nuggets, and then we're going to come back and talk to them, and they're going to give us some pointers on how to use these metal detectors. But Perry and I, we're going to crawl up the hill here and take a look at all these holes that these old timers dug out here in Last Chance Canyon. If you look right up here, you'll see all their tailing piles up there, and they went along and they were working a tertiary layer that was laid in way up on the hill there. And this is some of that bench gravel that I've been telling you about on the Prospector Show, and we're going to go up there and poke around their tailings a little bit while the guys spread out, because as that material was washed out and this gully was cut down through here in Last Chance Gulch, as that was cut down through here and the water eroded down, well, it brought a lot of gold down as it come and laid it down here in the floor of this canyon, and that's what the guys are going to be looking for with their metal detectors. And then Perry and I are going to go up there and we're going to take the gold pan, take some samples, and see if we can find some color, and then come back down here. Bob, you guys all going to share that gold with us that you found with these metal detectors? Yeah, well, we sure will share ours, won't we, Perry?
Yeah,
okay.
A water hole over here, we can do a little pan.
All right, well, you guys go ahead and fan out, and good luck, and see if you can find a nugget, and I'm going to come back and visit with you, and maybe you got some pointers for the guys at home, huh?
Okay, George.
All right, and Perry, let you and I take off and go up the hill.
Okay, sounds good.
Whew. Yeah, boy, I'm gonna take a, hey, look at this, Perry. Whew, gonna take a break, but look at this boulder, buddy.
Yeah,
that's a Jasper, a whole
That's that
boulder
ocean
of
bottom
Jasper.
salacious Jasper material there.
Yeah, you know, a guy could slab that. You talk about something for the rock hounds. There it is, a whole boulder Jasper. You know, I know a guy that was sitting on a boulder like this, a quartz boulder one time, Perry, and he just out on the side of the hill like we are here, and it was just a remnant boulder, and he took a hammer and he knocked a piece of it off. You know, a lot of times we have those picks with us, and it stuck. It wouldn't come apart.
Broke, but it wouldn't fall.
And he took the whole boulder, took over 200 ounces of gold out of a boulder like this. Well, it was a white quartz, but is there ever any gold in Jasper?
Not that I know of. This comes out of the bottom of an ocean.
But this is real nice polishing material. You can slab that and polish it. And guy probably make himself $1 million over quartzite, a rock show over there, if he slabbed that off and did it. So there you are, right there. You can come out and find some of these old Jasper boulders and get you a rock tumbler and do some good. Okay, let's head on up the hill. Had my break.
Get my gold pan.
Okay, don't forget the gold pan there. Boy, that's quite a hike up here, Perry, but this looks like the hole that we're looking for here. This is where the guys went in and they dug in, and this layer runs all the way across here. Perry, this old sedimentary layer of gravel, all cemented together. We're going to go down in that hole and take a look and poke around, and man, all different kinds of rocks.
Yeah, it looks like it's cemented gravel, so an ancient river channel.
And they must have worked up here with dry washers, because there's no water up here. They must have brought that material out, worked it up here by the dry wash. Let's go in and see if we can ascertain what they did in there.
Okay.
Got to watch out for snakes. Yeah, we got to look out for snakes down in here, Perry, and scorpions and all kinds of things that live down these holes. You and I, we've been in a lot of them. Boy, look at all this cemented gravel.
Yeah.
Tell me something about this. I know you're a mining engineer. Tell me some of the information about these old tertiary layers that laid in here.
These things run all over this area, and the old timers worked them. And
let me get on down and Here we got a nice, oh man, we got a nice hole going down here. Listen, I'll tell you what I think. Now what I think is that there's a layer that runs through here, and the guys worked right down to that layer, and on the bottom of that layer,
that's what they're working.
on the bottom of the layer was the best. And so that's why they left all this material up here, but it's got to have gold in it too. And as you can see here, there's one hell of a bunch of
gravel.
Heck of a bunch of gravel that they didn't work.
Well, we got to get
I
us a
tell you
sample
what,
there.
why don't you get down in the hole there and see if you can get a sample. I got a pocket knife. I didn't bring any tools with me.
I got one too.
That's always the way it is with us prospectors. You know, we go out there and sometimes we bring the stuff and sometimes we don't. I don't know if you can see these rocks here, but boy, there's some really nice, nice looking gravel in here, Perry.
Yeah, this looks really good.
And like I said again, these old timers, they take their pick and they work this gravel out here and they take that up and they run it through a dry washer. And there must be 500 holes along here, and there's nobody using any of them. And so they're open for anybody who wants to come out and work.
I got a pretty good sized boulder here that I'm getting material out from behind it here.
Yeah, and we'll take a sample of that, and then we'll go down and we'll check on the boys down below, see if they're finding anything with a metal detector. This looks like a good place in here to check with the metal detector. Boy, they went way on back in here too. Now this has got a good solid roof to it. Doesn't look like it's prone to caving in or anything. You want to make sure that if you do anything like this, you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. You're careful. I don't recommend that just anybody goes out and goes into these places unless they know what they're doing. But they can sure be a lot of fun, and what an adventure we can have with this kind of stuff. So if you got your sample, there, Perry, let's take that down. There's a puddle of water down there, and we'll wash it out. And if you got anything in it, maybe we'll come back and set our dry washer up, do some dry washing, or bring the guys back up with their metal detectors.
All right,
So
I got a good sample.
if you want to come on, I'll take that pan up here. You can hand it to me, and we'll take it on out.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you just hand that right up to me?
That's some interesting stuff down in
Boy,
there.
I'll tell you, that's really something. I want to show you something, Perry, that I got out of the pan there. I got a piece of jasper here,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of it in here. There's another piece right there. You're going to have fun panning that out. And what I got here is I got some silica, riverbed silica.
Well, basically what that is that's a bottom of a lake that takes millions of years for it to deposit in there like that.
It's real hard, and I know this is the stuff that the Indians make their arrowheads out of.
Yeah, this stuff really shines up real pretty when you put it in a rock tomb.
Yeah, and so if you slabbed it and shined it, it'd really be pretty. A lot of that out here. Tell me about this fault that we're looking at over here.
Well, basically what you had was one time it was a flat layer through there, and then some geologic event caused that fault to shoot in there, and you could see the real distinct fault line that runs through there, how the one layer is kinked up there. And a lot of times that's a good place to look for gold nuggets in them
These
fault
faults are kind of the same kind of faults that you find in the San Andreas Fault, these major faults in California where they have all the earthquakes, and a lot of time you find gold right in those faults. And in those fault areas, like this area of this old lake bed that's laying in here. Well, let's take a look down now and see how the fellas are doing with their metal detectors, see if we're rich, see if they found any 1 pound lumps down there, so to speak, you know, the mother lode, you know.
Well, they're
The
busy
mother
down
lode,
there.
Laddie, boy, I'll tell you, they're busy down there. So let's climb back down the hill. That's quite a hike down there, and let's take a look and see. You want me to help you with that pan? Or
Yeah, I can't wait to get a...
okay, we'll go
idea
down.
what we
There's
got
a
here.
mud puddle down there, and we'll pan that out. So let's just head back down the hill. Yeah, Perry, let's take a look and see how Gene and these guys. How you doing, Gene?
Well, I got some good signals in here, but I don't. Looks like I found one right here.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look. You got anything?
Well, let me check this one out right here. There it is.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Jeez.
Right there, huh, Gene?
Wow.
Right here, laying right
Did you
on
find
top.
any besides this one while we were up there?
I got a little signal, but I have got to go back and dig and check them yet. I'm not sure.
Boy, that's right close to the surface. I understand Alice got one over here too. Gene's wife found one that's about 3 or 4 times that big, wasn't it,
About a
Gene?
1
Man,
ounce
that's-
nugget.
All right,
About
well,
a
get me a
1 ounce
metal
nugget.
detector.
Yeah. She found that out one day while you and I were digging. She was just out with the metal detector.
Yeah.
Found a nice 1 ounce nugget. Well, let's go over here. How you doing down there, Bob? I think Bob's found something down there. Let's go down and see what he's found. I'll give you back your nugget there,
Okay.
Gene. Let's go down and see what Bob's got down here. You're going to share that with us, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, what you got here, Bob? I think Bob's got a signal. Hold everything now. I want you to take a look at this, Bob. You got a good signal. You think you might have a nugget in here somewhere?
Getting a good signal.
So
right
what Bob's done is he's got a signal in here, and he's looking for a nugget. And let's just open it up and see if we can find one in here, Bob. Where do you want to run your signal through here again? So it's right in this area here.
Right there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, look at
Look
that.
at that nugget.
Wow.
Right there, Bob. Well, boy, congratulations, buddy. You've been down here looking quite a
Listen to
way.
that sound, man.
Yeah, nothing like that, huh? Look at that nugget. Hey, take
Man.
a look at that.
That's awesome.
So when you find something like that, you can just keep going over it. Let's put her back down here, Bob, and show us what that sounds like again. We don't want to lose it. But see,
Has a very sharp, distinct sound.
very sharp, distinct sound. That's a nice nugget. Will you take that away, Perry? Maybe,
Well,
don't get any better than that, does it, buddy?
Not
Huh?
close to half an hour.
How
on that
about
puppy,
that,
man.
huh? There ain't no gold left. The old timers got it all, huh? Look at this one, Gene.
holy cow, look at that. That's bigger than mine.
Yeah,
heard
Gene
you
found a
some
nice
stuff
one.
up
Show
there?
him yours, Gene.
I heard him doing a little
How you
hooping and
doing,
hollering
Jake?
before.
Jake find anything? No,
Yeah.
Jake
Oh,
ain't found
man.
another metal down there.
Yours is bigger than mine.
Boy, look at that. Isn't that pretty gold
Pretty nice
rough? It
size
hadn't
stuff
traveled too far
Yeah,
either.
that's rough.
That's some real
I've
nice
never
stuff.
failed to find a gold nugget in this canyon yet, every time I've been here.
Never failed to find a gold nugget. Well, boy, I'll tell you, there's a couple of nice ones. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to go out with your metal detector and think you're going to find that the first time you go out in 15 minutes, Bob, how long you been down here looking?
3 days now with
3
Gene.
days with Gene. And Gene, how long you been mining?
Well, about 30 years.
30 years, longer than that. About 50 years, I think.
Yeah, okay.
We don't want to tell your age on you, but what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is there's a lot of gold left out there, and you can find some real nice nuggets. But be patient. When you go out with your metal detector, if you get a White's or Garrett or Compass or something like that, a good metal detector, it's going to take you some time to learn how to use it. These guys are professionals. They've been using these metal detectors for a long time. But if you stay with it, you will find some gold, and especially here in Last Chance Gulch, unless you're like Jake. Jake's a real good dude. You know, Jake, I know you got skunk, but let me tell you that Jake is one heck of a guy with a metal detector. He's probably the best of all of us, and yet he got skunked today, so it can happen.
it happens.
So don't be discouraged if you get skunked, but that's a nice nugget. You see
Look at that, Jake.
See that
Oh
nugget?
man, are you kidding me? Clam!
Isn't that great?
That's a beauty, man.
Well,
Jeez,
I'll tell you
man.
what we're going to do now, we're going to take
I
this
don't
stuff.
believe it. You bugger
We're going
you.
to take this stuff. Perry and I went in a hole up there on the top, and we came up with some leverite. Looks like you're on the top. Anyway, we're going to take this over. We got a mud hole over here, and Perry's going to pan that out. And then if it works out pretty good, I'm going to take a couple of buckets of it back to the old Buzzard Roost mine. So maybe Perry and I and Jake can get us a nugget like
Yeah.
that. So let's go over and pan that out. Okay, we got this mud hole here, Perry. I'll let you do the panning in there. Perry's a real good panner, and it takes one if you're just going to pan in any old puddle you can find. But why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing there, Perry?
Well, basically, what you want to do is you want to create a fluid bed in the pan. And basically what that does is that allows all the heavy material to drop down to the bottom of your pan, and you can get all the heavy stuff at the bottom and keep it going out. And you alternate between two different steps of right this here, which is taking the lighter material off the top, and then this brings it back and settles the heavy stuff at the bottom. And everybody develops their own techniques. It takes a little while to get used to it. And once you get your own technique, you can do pretty good with it. And these pans with the traps in them work pretty well for taking these field samples. You can take those samples down pretty fast.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about losing the gold. Boy, that was some nice gold that Gene and
Man,
Bob
they were
found
finding
over there.
some real good
Jake,
looking
he
stuff.
was kind of bummed out. He didn't find very much. Let's take now. When you get to this stage, you do what we call a tailing or fanning action, and we'll take a look and see if we. Hey, I think I saw a flash in the pan.
Hey, there's some gold in there. Look at that
Look
stuff.
at those nice nuggets.
Man,
You know.
look at those guys.
Hey, Jake, you guys come on over here. I think we got some more. These are not as big as the ones they found, but boy, they're pretty nice. Look at this. I'll tell you, Gene, you were telling me
Man, that's a good spot up there.
You were telling me that in this country they only find large gold and they don't find any small gold, and that is really strange.
Go get some
because
buckets,
in
man.
Most all the areas that I've ever been in, this is the only area that I've ever been in where there's no little fine gold. There's some black sand, but I don't see any gold in it. But look at these nice big nuggets. And you were telling me that this is a real strange area
This
out
is a
here.
strange area. This is where the old timers come to make their grocery bill for the mother lode. They come back here when this flat broke and leave here with a sack of flour and beans.
Well, beans is always good. And I'll tell you what, if you got some of these worry rocks, you don't have to worry about beans because there's always somebody to trade you a plate of beans for one of these rocks. So we don't have to worry about going hungry, do we?
Not
And
yet.
then especially with that nice one that you found. Well, we're going to go up and get some more buckets of this. Jake, why don't you leave that metal detector down
I
there?
think I will,
You're
George.
not doing any good with it anyway. Let's go up there and get some more buckets of this material and take it back to the old Buzzard Roost mine. Maybe we can find some more of these. Boy,
Yeah, remember we're going to share
Yeah,
this
man,
now.
those are great.
Well, yeah, well,
Jake's gotta
you're going to
find
share
some to get
yours
in
with
on the
us,
cut,
huh?
This one here is mine. I'll take that one.
Okay, well, we're going to head on back.
You always
I'll
get
get
the
us some
fat
more
one.
buckets.